America, we got to get back to doing what's expected of us as free citizens in this democracy. That means being tolerant, being respectful, staying informed, and being engaged. I'm former Congressman Joe Walsh. Follow me here and join the millions of Americans who are renewing their social contract with each other. The social contract, it's on us. Hey, I will acknowledge this Tuesday that I can be a bit of a Debbie Downer. Um, I tell you what I think. I don't try to sugarcoat what I say. And it's no surprise, I generally have kind of a bearish outlook on this great, good, decent, the future of this great, good, decent country that I love. But I get it. I hear from a lot of you often. Love you, Joe. Love your show. But dang, pick me up, brother. Pick me up. You were too down today. You sounded like you had such mammoth despair today. I do get that a bunch. Again, I'm an open book. I'll come to you every day with the mood I'm in, and that mood will carry the show. I'm hopeful, I'm fired up, I'm pissed off, I'm angry, I'm righteously pissed off, I'm scared, I'm down, whatever mood I'm in will carry the show. And yesterday I did. I'll acknowledge I was down as can be yesterday, man. The Democrats caving on the whole government shutdown thing bummed me out. More importantly, Donald Trump last night, 2 nights ago, pardoning all the people who helped him try to overthrow an American election, and the American people just don't seem to care. That really, really, really bummed me out. So I liked yesterday's show, but man, if you're looking for a lot of happiness, yesterday's show wasn't for you. But I come to you today, this Tuesday, with some hope. I've got some cautious hope in me, built up inside of me, bottled up inside of me today. Hope for short term, hope for progress in this country. And 2 things I want to put in front of you this morning that give me some hope. The first, well, both have to do with Trump. The first really has to do with Trump. And we'll start with where we always start. Donald Trump lies as he breathes. We've never, ever, 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 I'm going to say ever a few more times. We've never, ever, 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 ever had an American president who lies. We've never had a public figure. I doubt there's been a human being in all of human history who lies as much as Donald Trump lies. He lies as he breathes, and generally his lies work. Understand, Trump's been doing this his whole life. Not just his public life, not just since he first started running for president in 2016. Donald Trump's been a pathological liar, an off the charts pathological liar his whole life. And generally, his lies have worked because generally he's fooled a lot of people. And generally, a lot of people, way too many people, have believed his lies. Where to start, right? I mean, and again, right, we're talking about someone who lies every time he opens his mouth. And what can get us down is he lies 1,000 times a day, and he's been doing this now publicly for 10 years, and we can get down because the media has normalized his lies, and it no longer seems like the American people care about his lies. But this is a hopeful show. His lies about the economy, about affordability, are not going to work. Hope. Not going to work. People are not going to believe Trump's lies about the economy. That's something to grasp onto. That's a big, big deal. Not even most of his hardcore supporters who buy everything he says, not even his most hardcore supporters, good folks who I engage with every day, they're not going to, in the main, buy his lies about the economy and buy his lies about affordability. They're not going to believe them. Trump can, right? Where to start, but Trump can, until he breathes his last, Trump can say the 2020 election was stolen, that he really won in 2020, that lie, and most of his supporters will believe him. The polls still show that most Republicans believe the 2020 stolen election lie. Um, Agreed. And Trump can say that Haitian migrants are eating cats and dogs, like he said during the campaign last year, an ugly, bigoted lie. And most of his supporters will believe that lie. Again, the list is endless. But when Trump, and here's the hope, when Trump lies about how much things cost, about how the economy is doing, about who's paying for his tariffs and the impact of his tariffs on the economy. When Trump lies about the economy, as he's been doing every single day for the past number of weeks and months, because Donald Trump is single-handedly fucking up the economy. So now, right, he's defensive because things are expensive, things cost a lot, inflation's on the rise, all the rest. So Trump then, to respond to actual data, actual facts, what's going on the ground, Trump lies. That's his reaction to everything. He'll just lie. He'll do what he did last night. I think it was with Laura Ingraham. Keith, do we have that?
The economy was listed as a top concern. I know you know this, for voters in New Jersey, New York, Virginia. And you've been all over the affordability issue today and for the last several months. Eggs, gas, dinner costs for Thanksgiving way down. But other things, as you noted, have gone up. Beef, coffee, auto repairs. Is this a voter perception issue of the economy, or is there more that needs to be done by Republicans on Capitol Hill, or done in terms of policy?
More than anything else, it's a con job by the Democrats. They're saying, they just have to say, they put out something, say today costs are up. They feed it to the anchors of ABC, CBS, and NBC, and a lot of other, and CNN, and et cetera. And it's like a standard. I'll never forget, they had used a word like manufactured. Do you remember the word manufactured? It's a manufactured economy. Nobody uses that word. Every anchor broke through manufactured. They do exactly what they say. It's such a rigged system. So are you ready? Costs are way down. Gasoline is going to be hitting $2 pretty soon.
Stop, Keith. That's enough. That's enough. Thank you. By the way, whenever Trump says, "Are you ready?" He's going to lie. Are you ready? Costs are way down. It's a big con job. It's a big hoax. This is what Trump is saying every day about the economy, about affordability. His answer to affordability is it's a lie. Costs are way down. Now, again, just to be clear, everybody listening to me right now, hardcore Trump supporter, hardcore I can't stand Trump, wherever you are, Trump is lying about affordability, about the costs of things. Prices are up across the board. This isn't even in doubt. Prices are up 1.7% higher now, actually as of September, than they were in January. Their prices are up across the board 3% higher from last September to this September. Inflation every month of his term. There's been inflation every single month of Donald Trump's term, and it's accelerating. It's increased each of the last 5 months. Grocery prices up 1.5% since January, 2.7% since last September. I could go on and on and on and on and on, right? Here's the problem. This is part of why Trump's in trouble. Prices are up. Not going to debate that. MAGA, I love you and I respect you, but there's no debate here. I'm dealing in the world of just data, facts, and truth. No debate here. Trump's response to the facts on the ground, as is his response to everything, is to lie. But here's the hope. Costs are down, he says. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. People are not going to believe his lies about the economy because the American people live the economy. You get it? He can lie and say the 2020 election was stolen. He can lie and say Haitian migrants are eating cats and dogs because they're not eating your cats and dogs and whatever. That doesn't impact you. But when he lies about the economy, he's lying about that very thing that you and I live each and every day. You and I know how our economy is going. When he lies about affordability, we're not going to believe him. That lie won't work because you and I know how much stuff costs. We know how much beef costs. We know how much that pickup truck costs. We know how much gas costs. We know how much eggs cost. We know how much coffee costs. When he stands in front of you and says coffee prices are way down, even his most hardcore supporter who drinks 3-4 cups of coffee a day isn't going to believe that. This is really important because part of the frustration that I know a lot of Americans have, and I engage with MAGA every day, good folks, I engage with them every day, and I have the frustration because this topic always comes up when I engage with Trump's MAGA supporters. Trump's lying. And they have a hard time acknowledging that he lies. Many of them will say he doesn't lie. Many of them, by the way, understand he lies and they don't care. But most of them have a hard time wrestling with the fact that he lies, or they just don't believe he lies. But I've engaged with enough already in the last couple of weeks on this lie that the economy is great and costs are down and affordability is not an issue. I've had enough conversations just in the last 2 weeks with Trump's MAGA supporters to know that they know that's a lie because they're living it. They know if they've got a job or not. They know how their small business has been impacted by Trump's tariffs. They know how their farm and or their restaurant has been impacted by Trump's cruel deportations. They know. And I'm not saying Trump's most hardcore supporters are going to turn on him tomorrow because of it. I'm not saying they're going to vote Democrat in 26 because Trump is lying about the economy. All I'm saying is these lies won't work. Even his most hardcore supporters will acknowledge that he's lying about affordability, and that will make a difference. I mean, just think about it on the surface. If even Trump's most hardcore supporters understand he's lying about affordability because they live affordability, then that means that Americans who are not his hardcore supporters and who voted for him in 2024, the odds of them, right, Trump got elected, right? Saying, on day one, I'm going to bring all the prices of everything down on day one. If you're not part of Trump's MAGA base and you voted for Trump because you were disappointed in the Democrats, Biden, Harris, whatever, and here we are 10 months later, and Trump's lying about the cost of stuff, and Trump's made things even more expensive, and he's lying about it, those people aren't going to vote for Trump. And Trump's hardcore supporters are going to be really conflicted. They're conflicted now. This is like a pressure point that someone like me who engages with MAGA every day can respectfully but firmly keep pushing. Because now he's lying about you. He's lying about your job. He's lying about your income. He's lying about how much you're paying when you go to the grocery store. Right? You can lie about the stolen election. You can lie about you weren't never going to touch the east wing of the White House. It doesn't impact you. But man, I go to the grocery store every week, and don't you be lying about how much milk and coffee and beef and shit cost, because I'm paying for it. This is going to make a difference politically. Trump's lived his entire life on lying, and it's generally worked for him. Politically, these lies about the economy and affordability, the cost of stuff, are not going to work politically, because we all live the economy. And that will make a difference politically. It will. Democrats, my new political party, need to keep hammering this. And I'd hammer, right? I'd hammer the price of stuff. Trump's made things worse. I mean, it's a twofer, right? Trump was single-handedly given the strongest economic recovery, post-COVID recovery in the industrialized world. He's single-handedly fucked that up, and he's lying about it. Hope data point number 2. I do not like green eggs and Sam. I do not like them, Sam. I do not like what those Senate Democrats did, caving to end the government shutdown. We're not going to get into that now. A lot of people didn't like that. The Democratic base didn't like that. Democratic House members didn't like that. Grassroots resistors and Democrats didn't like the Democrats caving on the shutdown. And that's where there's hope, because the 8 Senate Democrats who all folded, and there were more than 8, and the fact that they folded, I'm going to move my angle a little here because I got the sun coming in. That the fact that they folded, and I picked on Maine Senator Angus King because he said, right, we played it yesterday, standing up to Trump doesn't work. And the response to Maine Senator Angus King was, if you're not prepared to stand up to Trump, find another line of work. Resign now, Senator King. The response to what Senate Democrats did, caving on the shutdown, has made really clear to the Democratic Party that they fucked up, and they still don't understand this moment, and they gots to get their act together. That's a good thing. The more pressure that is on the Democratic Party, Democratic leadership, the Democratic establishment to meet this moment, that threat in the White House, that political party, an authoritarian in the White House, that political party, an authoritarian embracing cult, Democrats, this is a real threat. I need you to meet it and fight it and defeat it. the angrier that Democratic voters get at their party will only help the Democratic Party get its act together. And again, this is a good thing. The Democratic Party's been playing catch up since Trump was sworn in. They've been playing catch up since Donald Trump got reelected a year ago. Let's be real. The people driving this train, the people leading this parade are grassroots, righteously pissed off Americans who understand what's in the White House, who understand that our democracy and the rule of law and pluralism and basic human decency is like all teetering right now. These folks, regular folks marching at the No Kings parades, just grassroots Democrats, grassroots independents, they're leading this parade. Democrats messed up. The Democratic Party messed up. The Democratic Party establishment messed up this past day or two, caving on the shutdown. But all that's done is make their base angrier. And that anger is going to continue to push the Democratic Party to do the right thing. I was on a show last night, maybe the night before. I come from the Tea Party. The same thing was happening back in the Tea Party days. The Republican Party establishment did not understand what the Tea Party was all about. They did not understand what led to the Tea Party. They did not understand why us Tea Party folk were so pissed off. The same thing, and we overtook the Republican Party. The same thing is happening now. Democrats are going through, I said on TV the other night, their Tea Party moment. And people like Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries, so many of them are just going to be overtaken because this Democratic anti-establishment thing is only going to continue to grow. It can't be stopped. It's grassroots righteous anger. Good luck trying to stop that. It's not going to happen. So that's a good thing. That gives me hope. Yeah, the Democrats messed up this week. The Democratic Party did. But the Democratic base is even more pissed off. And that's going to continue to kick the party in line. I want to make one more point this Tuesday. It has nothing to do with anything I've talked about so far. I love this country. And I'm going to say something right now. Everybody who listens to me every day and follows me on every platform every day, everybody who agrees with what I say or disagrees with what I say, everybody who loves Joe Walsh and everybody who can't stand Joe Walsh, I'm going to acknowledge that we all love this country. All my former friends and supporters in MAGA world, you all love America. Acknowledge that I love America. Acknowledge that Joe Biden loves America. Joe Biden, you can say Joe Biden loves America. You can say that. I disagree with every word J.D. Vance says. I don't doubt that J.D. Vance loves this country. I love this country. And one of the reasons I love this country, maybe the principal reason I love this country, is because it's the only country in the history of mankind founded upon an idea. I dare you, I challenge you to find an example of another country in the history, in all of human history, founded upon an idea. You can't. We're the only one. And that idea, right? We can argue and debate about what the idea is. To me, that idea has always been freedom, freedom and opportunity. This is the place, man, where you can come and make something of yourself. This is America, is the home of freedom, baby. You can come here and you got opportunity. You can come here and you got to say, man, consent of the governed. We are not subjects. We are citizens. We are the government. We are the government. Just a magnificent idea. And that idea over the course of the last 240 some years has carried this country freedom, this place, this, as Reagan said, this shining city on a hill, the place where you can come and be free, the place where you can come and say what you want, the place where you can come and buy a piece of land and start that small business and raise a family and get something, opportunity. And people from around the world, from America's founding, have seen America as that destination, that place to go, to be free and to have opportunity. America's always been that, the magnet. We've drawn people, all kinds of colors and creeds of people from around the world to come here, to make it, to have a life, to be free. What probably devastates me more than anything about Trump and Trumpism, and especially what Trump has done the past 10 months, is Trumpism, today's Republican Party, is the antithesis of that. What Donald Trump is doing is telling the world, stay out, stay away. We don't want you immigrants. We don't want you migrants. We don't want you coming here claiming asylum. We don't want you coming here to become an American citizen. We don't want you coming here looking for work. We don't want you coming here going to school. We don't want you coming here looking for opportunity. We don't want you coming here on vacation. Trump and his cruel, ugly attack on immigration and immigrants and migrants and students coming over here on student visas and folks from all over the world coming here on work visas, go right down the line. And this Republican Party, Trump, trying to dramatically decrease the number of people who can come here legally, has had a real impact. People are no longer coming here. For the first time in my lifetime, what Trump and the Republican Party are doing is the antithesis of that shining city on a hill. It's stay out. It's like Trump and the Republican Party have put up a big sign, a big billboard that says, stay the hell out. And you know what? It's working. People are staying the hell out. By every indicator, the number of students from around the world wanting to come here, coming here on student visas, in the toilet. The number of people coming here on vacation, tourists, in the toilet, down, down, down. The number of people coming here on work visas, down, down, down. The number of people applying for citizenship, down, down, down. The number of people coming here to claim asylum, down, down, down. Across the board, nobody's coming here. People are afraid to come here. They see what's going on America's streets. They see those masked federal agents going after brown and black people. Why the hell would you want to be around that? They see what Trump and Rubio are doing to students who would come here on student visas, but they maybe have an opinion on what's going on in the Middle East that Trump and Rubio don't approve of. So no student visas. Why even deal with that? People coming here to teach in our universities, down, down, down. The numbers down, down, down. The numbers make clear that Trump's sign, stay the hell out, these first 10 months has worked. I live in a building in the town I live in with people who work in government and or government associated agencies from all over the world. And it's weird. I've had a conversation and I'm about to close, Keith. I've had 2 conversations in just the past 4 days with someone in this country from Central America and someone in this country from Europe. And both of them have told me Two completely separate conversations in the last 4 days, that they don't want to be here, and everybody they know back in their countries who would come here professionally, who would come here to work, who would come here to study, who would come here to visit, who would come here to be citizens. All of that's dried up. One conversation with somebody from a European country, one conversation in my building with somebody from a country in Central America, and they both said the same thing. Nobody wants to come to America right now. They're scared. They're angry. Mostly they're scared. They don't like what's going on in America right now. It's not safe. People back in their home countries say. It's not safe to come here, right? Even try to come here legally. These two gentlemen told me separately. It's not, they don't believe it's safe to even try to come to this country legally. I just wanted to put that in front of us before I forgot this week. I was reminded this morning because the conversation blew me away. Two separate conversations in the last 4 days. I'll just close with this. This is not who we are. This is not what America has always been. This shouldn't be what we are. I want to be that shining city on a hill again. I want to be that destination again. Understand something. Under Trump, it's the opposite. Make that the issue people vote on in 2026. Do you want to be the country that holds up a big billboard that says, stay the hell out to everybody? Or do you want to be the big country that is the shining city on the hill that's doing this? Come on. You want freedom. You want a shot at life. You want a better life. You want opportunity. Come on. Decide that in 2026. Hey, thanks for listening, everybody. My Substack. Dang, I got to fix my picture, Keith. I apologize. My Substack, there it is, socialcontractwithjoewalsh.substack.com. All one word, Social Contract with Joe Walsh. Check it out. Everything I do is there. Please subscribe if you are so inclined. If you want to shoot me an email, do all one word, the Social Contract with Joe Walsh at gmail.com. The Social Contract with Joe Walsh at gmail.com. Love you. Hope you're having a good week. Be brave.
Thank you for listening. Remember to listen, share, and follow The Social Contract with Joe Walsh on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere great podcasts are found. And be sure to leave a 5-star review. This has been The Social Contract with Joe Walsh.